Welcome YouTubers. I'm going to give a quick demo on how to do some transparency. I know people get frustrated because you can't do it in Paint, even though it looks like you can do it in Paint, but you can do it in Microsoft PowerPoint or really any of the Microsoft Office stuff. So that's cheaper. I know you can do that, with other sophisticated software or downloads and stuff, but there's a quick way to do it in PowerPoint, and most people have PowerPoint. So let me go ahead and grab a logo here. It's not transparent. Copy that image, bring it in, paste it, and you can see it's got the big white background and not transparent, right? So if you bring something like that into PowerPoint, I've got an older version of PowerPoint, but the steps are pretty simple. Now you can set colors and paints, and I'll show an example, where you have to do some editing, especially if you don't have a nice flat logo like this. You have a picture, you have a bunch of shadows. There are some tricks to that, but basically insert the picture into PowerPoint, and then if you've got I drew a picture up here, if you got one of the newer 2007 or better, when you select the picture, usually your ribbon up there, you can go format your picture tools, go way over to the left to go to recolor, and go way down to set transparent color, and then you're gonna do the same thing that I'm doing here. Now in the older versions they used to have the nice picture toolbar, and here's your set transparent color, and you set that and it becomes transparent. So yeah, if I'm over to red here, you can see it's got a little bit of a loopage over there. Not the greatest. Looks good on white, but you'd have to do a little bit of editing, but I'm just showing an example here. Let me go ahead and crop that sucker too. And so that's the trick number one, right, is to bring it into here, make it transparent. And you say, hey, I can do that in Paint too, but when you save it, it doesn't work in Paint. When you save it here, so now the next thing you want to do after you crop it up here and set your transparency is you want to right click, save picture as, choose PNG format. And let me go ahead and put that into temp, biohazard, right, or transparent biohazard, or whatever you want to do. So let me go ahead and delete that and just go ahead and insert that picture I just saved, and that's that one there. And when you insert it, boom, it's transparent. Well, at least it's transparent as it was. So that's all you have to do. That's the trick, and it works both in the new PowerPoints and the old PowerPoints. Let me give you one more example. I would insert football. And one of the problems when you do this type of stuff is that when you pick your color, first of all, you can only pick one color. And when you pick that color, you can see a couple things happen. There's a shadow down there, and the laces, part of the laces turn red, which is something you generally don't want, right? It looks kind of crappy. So that one you have to edit first in Paint. And so the trick to edit in Paint, let me go ahead and delete that. Head out to my directory, open up that football in Paint. And then I usually pick some colors that are not, so this has got oranges and blacks. So go ahead and pick color 1 and color 2, foreground and background, make it the same color. That's going to be your key transparency color. You can try the little paint here, paint bucket, and you can see you got some scruffy edges. So you have to fix those. So this is where it gets to be editing. You can either use the eraser, right, and kind of trim around there, and it turns green. And you can use these selection tools, like I'm going to use the big rectangle. And when you got both set, the front and the back, you can just highlight an area and hit the delete key, and it just takes it away. So you want to do the same type of thing for large areas, and you just want to paint around what you're doing, right? The other thing you can try to do is do this little freeform. You got to be a little tricky with the mouse here, but as long as you're a good pattern maker, and then just loop it around, it'll make a closed circle. And when you delete that, it does a nice job there. What you really want to do here is, take your time, zoom it in, and go back to your tools, and you can select here and just make that be real steady with the mouse till you get all this, best on the board you can. I know I'm doing this pretty quick here. And let me just highlight, delete, see if there's anything else I can fill in. And the point of this is to set a color, so that's going to be your transparency color when you bring it into PowerPoint. So I think you get the idea here. It's going to take a little while to do that. Let me go ahead and zoom it out. And what the heck, I'll put a big green circle right in the middle here, just for the fun of it. So let me go ahead and save this file. I'll save it as a different name. Call it Football 2. So there's my little green one. Now I'm going to go back to PowerPoint. Same trick we had before. Go ahead and insert that picture I just had from the file. And pick your transparency off the recolor. Click it. And you can see you got pretty good. Doesn't look too bad where I edited it down there, and the whole looks good, right? So that's a good thing. Just right click, save it off, save picture as, make sure it's a PNG, and football transparent, right? So same type of thing. Insert the picture. And so you can make up a lot of transparent stuff this way, which is, you know, when you're making stuff in PowerPoint and whatever, and you can overlap stuff and it just looks better, right? So that's my tip. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.